Hello, this is Torin. Watched the debate last night, and now I'm watching the morning shows. And the morning shows are basically telling me what I saw and heard last night. They're telling me what I should be thinking and telling me who they think won and how I should believe that, Marco Rubio won a battle with Ted Cruz and how Donald Trump swept the floor up with Ted Cruz. But the strange dichotomy seems to be that the Luntz group almost unanimously said Ted Cruz won the debate. Almost unanimously. Um, I guess they were in South Carolina. And I guess the media, being from the Northeast, being from New York, believe that Donald Trump really took it to Ted Cruz. Well, let me tell you my take on it, being that I'm from Brooklyn, being that I grew up, born and raised in New York City. The New York City values question that was asked of Ted Cruz was answered correctly. New York City values are not the values of South Carolina. They're not the values of Iowa. You can reverse it. The values of Iowa are not those of New York City. But the values of Iowa and the values of South Carolina will fall into the conservative movement. They will fall into the conservative ideology. The values of New York will fall into the liberal ideology. That's just the way it is. So the values of New York are not the values of South Carolina, not the values of Iowa, and they're not the value of the Republican primary voter. So when he says New York values, it's not a knock on New York. It's a knock on Donald Trump. And that knock comes from the liberal values of New York City. And if you want to try to claim that New York is not a liberal city, just take a look at their mayor. Bill de Blasio, he's beyond a Democrat. He's beyond a socialist. He's pretty much a communist. So if that is the city that voted in a communist mayor, are their values in sync with South Carolina, Iowa, or a GOP primary? I don't think so. So in that case, Ted Cruz is right. But if you want to look at the theater of it, if you want to look at how Donald Trump finally he brought his voice down, he didn't attack. He was nice. He was empathetic. He was believe the theater, believe the guy that had the reality show. But you cannot deny the fact that New York values are liberal. You cannot deny the fact that New York supports gay marriage. New York City supports, no, New York City, not the state, supports gay marriage, supports gun control, votes in people that support those uh, policies. That's a liberal policy. Those are the values of New York City. I can even get deeper. If I wanted to say that 50% of all the black pregnancies in New York end in abortion, I could say that, and that'd be true. Those are the values of New York City. Those are the values that Ted Cruz was talking about. So if you want to try to defend Donald Trump with a fantastic answer that had absolutely nothing to do with the question posed, nothing to do with the ideology, and you want to say, oh, he gave a great answer because he invoked the 9/11 card, then don't jump on Barack Obama when he brings up the race card. Take a look at Al Sharpton in a different way when he brings up the race card. Hillary Clinton will bring up the gender card. I think the most despicable of all cards played is the 9/11 card. It had absolutely nothing to do with the question, and all it was meant to do was shame a man for saying the obvious and the truth. So all of you supporters out there and all of the media types that want to go ahead and bash Cruz for saying the absolute truth about New York City values because Donald Trump gave some specious answer about how 9/11 are the values of New York City, take a look at your mayor today. Don't go back 15 years. Take a look at your mayor today. Look at the values he has. Now, if you said that when Giuliani was mayor, he'd have a problem. But with de Blasio, man, Ted Cruz is dead on.